Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom lakam, which is peace unto you all. Hayawam tawab la atam za achikam yawam on Rakadal Charlotte, which is good day. This is your brother Yawam from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nachamatam kaya hamalakata shamayim kwara. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call halayim la la abanawa Yahweh bahasham Yahweh shai bahasham rachakadash wa mashana la za kwanim nawa wamalakiam sharuchagadal, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means He exists bahasham. In the name Yahweh Shai, He delivers in double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Zama Shal, this is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 20. It says, wisdom. Subtitle, it says, wisdom warns. It says, wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. All right. And how is this being done? Let's get this real fast. This is Zayashaya. This is Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. It says, cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and Bayeth Shah Ya'aikwab, their sins. All right, house of Jacob. All right, and that's done by way of the prophets. All right, that's how this word is going out. All right, and the house of Jacob is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Israelite foreigners. All right, the Israelites. It says, wisdom crieth without, outside. It says, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying. All right, because, we have been instructed, to bring out this word, all right, and the chief place of concourse. All right, let's get this. This is Proverbs 8 and verse 2. It says, she standeth in the top of high places by the way and the places of the paths. Let's get this in the NLT, and it says, on the hilltop along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. All right, and what do these two represent? Hilltop, that's where everybody can see. All right, crossroads, that's an intersection. That's where everyone can see, So in the main places or the main parts, all right, of different areas where Jake has been scattered, all right, that essentially represents, where the prophets will be bringing out the word. All right, that's the wisdom in the chief places of concourse, all right, and places where it's business, and places where it's heavy foot traffic, all right, and the openings of the gates in the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. All right, and that simplicity goes into foolishness. So how long is Jake going to be into, folly? How long is Jake going to be in, love and mirth? How long is Jake going to be in this mindset of being unprepared, for the times that we're coming up into, It says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. All right, so, what is the spirit? Let's get this real fast. This is John chapter 6. We'll get verse 63. And it says, it is the spirit that quickeneth. The spirit, allows us to live. It restores us to life. It says, the flesh profiteth nothing. Being carnal is not going to have any type of benefit. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. All right. Hey, so this word is ultimately, the illustration of the spirit. So going back to Proverbs 1 and verse 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. See, so it's being an iteration being made in the spirit. Because the Lord said, I will pour out my spirit unto you. And then after this comma, he iterates, what he's talking about is the word. All right, the spirit is the word. I will make known my words unto you. All right, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. So it says, because I have called and ye have refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. All right, and how was this done? Let's get Zechariah chapter 7. We'll get verse 11, and it says, but they refused to hearken. 2/3, they refused to listen, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears that they should not hear you. So you see, so it's like, the prophets, when you touch someone's shoulder, you're coming in a very a peaceable manner. All right, so the Lord is coming peaceable. Hey, hey, you're an Israelite. Because the Lord speaks through his men, so I'm going to read that from the top. It says, but they refused to hearken, they refused to listen, and pulled away the shoulder, so it's like, the prophets is putting their hand on the shoulders of 2/3, all right, but 2/3 is going to pull away the shoulder, like, yo, get off me. That's pretty much what they saying in the spirit. It says, and stop their ears that they should not hear. Yeah, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, and the adamant stone is like a diamond, something that you got to conquer. They made their hearts, their minds, very stiff. It says, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it has come to pass that as he cried and they would not hear, so they cried and I would not hear, saith the Lord of hosts. So pretty much being that 2/3 Jake didn't want to listen, the Lord is going to ignore them in the time of their calamity. All right, going back to so verse 24, because I have called and ye have refused, I have stretched out my hand, all right, via the prophets, and no man regarded. Jake, just pulled away the shoulder. Verse 25, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. All right, so Jake essentially, by default, and walking away from this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, they have set the Lord's counsel at naught. They ignore the Lord's counsel. They neglected, all right, the Lord's counsel. Okay, and this essentially illustrates this precept right here. Let's get this. This is Second Esdras, chapter 9, and we'll get verse 9, and it says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways." All right, because why does it say abuse my ways? Because the Lord is great in mercy. You see, so essentially Jake is taking that kindness for weakness. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood it not, but despised it. The same must know after death by pain. So those that essentially are neglecting, those that are essentially setting the Lord's counsel at naught, all right, by default, hey, they're going to have to know about death by pain, It says, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer, pursuant to Zechariah, the 7th chapter. All right. When the Lord cried, they didn't want to hear. You see, but when they started crying, they gonna want the Lord to hear, but the Lord not gonna hear him. It says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. All right, and what is this? We'll get this precept right here. This is Tahal Yam, Psalms 28 and verse 3. And it says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. All right, so this thing is about, everyone getting what they want. And what I mean by that is, all right, the righteous through the Spirit, they're going to get what they want. You see, because, they are following the steps that the Lord are making them take. You see, which the two-thirds, they're essentially abiding by the Lord's will as well. All right, you see, but in their minds, what they want is not, righteousness. You see, so they're going to receive of the wickedness that they want to work, because ultimately that's what they want anyway. So they're going to get a wicked reward. That's true just deserts. All right, pursuant to the verse we just got in Psalms 28 and verse 4. All right, that's the Lord, giving them their desert. All right, so going back, we'll get Proverbs 1 and we'll go back to verse 28 or 29 or 31. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way. All right, whatever their ways produce, they're going to eat of that and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. And this word prosperity, all right, it's a lot. This word for prosperity, it says shawwa, and it says quietness, ease, prosperity, security, genuine or false. So you could have a true sense of security, or it can be false. Two-thirds have a false sense of security. You see, so that so-called prosperity, that so-called security is going to get them destroyed. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from the fear of evil. Hey, ultimately, the elect is going to dwell safely. Psalms, the 91st chapter. All right, and be quiet. When we go into this word for quiet, quiet says sha'an, and it says to be at ease. All right, to be at ease from the fear of evil. So ultimately that represents, all right, the elect being at peace and being protected, from these perilous times. You see, yeah, I just wanted to go into that. Adonai Tazah, Zabanaya Palo is what that was, a beautiful edification through the Spirit. Adonai Tazah, Adam Yash Yawam Tawab, Lord as well. You have a good day. Washalam Lakam, which is peace unto you all. Shalom, shalom.